Happy Tuesday. Oh my God, I did it
You
again.
are awful, man.
All right. Hold on.
Hold on. There you go.
Season 4, episode 46 of Bracket, Bubble, and Bid Stealers. I am Sam Fetterman. That is Jonathan Lidskin. Jonathan, you know that when I post this as a podcast, I can just cut the part that's where I screwed up.
Yes, I do know that.
But will I?
It irritates me.
So, Jonathan, you texted me something today.
Yeah.
That you wanted to open the show with. Go.
Yeah, I'm gonna read this word for word. Nope, not that one. All right. UConn is still the best team in the country, probably by a decent margin. People need to stop acting like college basketball teams are invisible.
Invisible.
Invincible, sorry.
Anyway.
Did I say invisible in my text?
Yeah. Honestly, I think that most people kind of... By the way, you know what it's time for? Guess the St. Mary's score.
How much time? They're playing San Fran.
5:30.
Left or into the first half?
Left.
(27-21) St. Mary's.
25-19. Very close.
Not bad, not bad.
Anyway, back to UConn. I was honestly surprised. Most of the discourse on Twitter today was like, they're fine. Not a big deal.
Good. People are learning.
That might just be because I'm on UConn Twitter.
Sure.
And Big East Twitter. But, I mean, Ant Wright was kind of laying into them.
He's doing it for the memes, man. He's doing
yeah, totally.
He's doing it for the attention.
And I don't mind it. I think Ant Wright is funny.
Yeah.
But
like, yeah, they're fine. Who cares? Creighton's good. Like,
honestly, I don't think we should even spend all that much time on this game because, like, look, Creighton had 1.44 points per possession. UConn fell from 11th to 23rd in defense.
Yeah. Like, listen, McDermott's a good coach. Creighton has good players. They're not super deep, but when you get the night they did from Ashworth, the night they did from Kalkbrenner, the night they did from Alexander, and then Shireman playing well in the second half despite the foul trouble, it's a recipe for a storm.
Yeah, I thought Jason Green was the key for Creighton tonight. Like, I'm going to be honest with you, I'd barely heard of this guy until tonight.
Same. And, like, we know everyone.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about mid-major dudes on here, like, every day. Jason Green, like, who is that? Comes out.
Omaha
really
kid,
good.
Right?
Most minutes of the season, 16 tonight. He only played more than 7 minutes 3 other times. Central Michigan, DePaul, and Georgetown. Speaking of Central Michigan, they're really darn good. They're now 10-3 in the MAC.
Is Trout hurt, or is he just a DNP at this point?
I honestly have no idea.
Because, like, there are a couple guys that aren't playing for them that we thought
Trout's
would be, like,
hurt.
Impact guys.
I think Trout's hurt.
Okay. Because, like, we thought, like, Fred King's a DNP now.
Yeah.
Jonathan Lawson has, like, barely played at all this year for them.
Yeah, and that was a guy who I thought would start.
Yeah, like, off the bench, like, it's been Farabello and I guess tonight, Jason Green.
And shout out Jason Green, because he was excellent tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But for UConn, like, look, Klingon gets in foul trouble. Creighton starts to settle in, be comfortable, and you know what? That's that. Like, here's your ball game. We'll see you on Saturday for College Game Day. It's still going to be a juiced-up building. I thought Diarra got put in a lot of trouble tonight because got in early foul trouble and then kind of had to guard a really scorching hot Ashworth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fine. I mean, UConn only had 8 assists tonight. That's the thing. 26 field goals, 8 assists.
Yeah.
because Creighton's mirroring every single one.
Creighton's always been a team that scouts them well, too.
Yeah, I mean, UConn has never won in Omaha.
Mm-hmm. What they held, like, I know Creighton didn't shot the ball terribly the first time they played, but they held them to like 62, didn't they?
Yep. Look, UConn is still the best team in the country. I believe that, but there is reason to there is really no reason to be all that concerned. But I don't know if this changes my opinion on Creighton either. We know that they're liable to go nuclear in a given game on both ways, honestly.
Yeah.
Do you feel better about Creighton after this?
I mean, I think they've been playing better over the last 2 weeks, but that's what Creighton is. Like, Creighton can beat any team in the country if they play like they did tonight, and they proved it.
I mean, they beat Nebraska at Pinnacle Bank by 30. Yeah, nobody walks into Pinnacle Bank.
No, nobody does. Like, they also lost at home to Butler and gave up 99. Like, they lost to UNLV by 15.
Yeah, I mean, like,
it's a very high variance team.
They are, as Tobin Anderson would say, a make shot, miss shot team. When they make shots, they can beat anyone. When they don't, they can't beat anyone.
It's a Titus and Tate thing too.
Well, Tobin has literally said that in like multiple press conferences this year. I don't know if he got it from Titus and Tate or if Titus and Tate got it from him.
It's not bar for bar the same, but like one of the Titus and Tate thing, like one of their bits on their shows was like, yeah, they're a make shots team. When they make shots, they're playing well.
Yeah, and that's what Creighton is. And honestly, I don't think the best teams are make shot, miss shot teams.
No.
Houston is not a make shot, miss shot team. Houston is just a miss shot team. Houston doesn't make shots.
Dude, the thing about that is like,
dude, if you were not allowed to watch a team play defense and you could only watch offense, you would think Houston was like terribly coached.
Yes, I agree with that. Like, you have to win tournament games in multiple ways. You have to be able to win ways without making shots. You have to be able to win games that are 70 plus possessions. You have to be able to win games that are like 60 possessions.
And by the way, this game was 59 possessions. It was slow. You know why?
That's going to benefit Creighton.
Because Creighton was taking their... Well, UConn plays slow this year.
Yeah, I know. But, like, Creighton's just, like, that's always their style. I guess what we really should be saying is, like, big man out of the game, UConn not as good.
Yeah. But even then, it took an ethereal shooting performance by Creighton.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not concerned about UConn, and I still don't think Creighton... I'm still probably not going to pick Creighton to make a Final Four.
Yeah, I mean, who's picking them to make a Final Four? Sweet 16, sure. Sweet 16, sure. Elite 8, like right draw, yeah. Who's picking them to make a Final Four?
I just think it's going to be really hard to find 4 straight games where they have the matchup advantage.
I agree. I think you could find 2 or 3.
I agree. I'm with you on that.
You have to also remember that, like, they're probably going to be the best coached team in their quad.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to make the Sweet 16 probably. They're one of the 16 best teams in the country. I feel like we talk a lot of shit about them for how good they are, like, because we had national championship expectations for them. They're not as deep as we thought they would be. We thought Jonathan Lawson and Isaac Trout would be playing a lot more, but they're not. And then we just look at what they've got, and they're softer than we thought they would be. But tonight they came out and played super hard. I thought this was one of their best performances of the season, not just because they shot so well, but because they controlled this game start to finish. outside of the first minute and a half where UConn led 7-0, it just felt like Creighton had the energy.
Twitter was a really fun place when UConn went up 7-0 in the game.
It was. It was like, is this team ever going to lose again?
Is this team the greatest team ever?
Yeah. Anyway, let's bring on Austin Mitchell here to talk about the Mountain West and San Diego State. Utah State, we now have a new sole possession holder of first place in the Mountain West, Austin. It is the Utah State Aggies.
We do. Thanks for having me on, Sam and Jonathan.
Can't really hear you.
Better?
Much better.
Yeah.
I have to take out the headphones. All right. Yeah. Thanks for having me on. Utah State deserved it tonight for sure. They've been the most consistent team throughout the Mountain West season, and their record proves that. San Diego State is really struggling to win on the road, and they are really struggling to start hot in games. Two of the last 3 games, Colorado State and Utah State, where they have been behind early, missing a ton of shots early, and they weren't able to claw their way back into this one like they were at home against Colorado State. And primarily the guard play. Butler, Waters, Parrish, and Trammell combined 1 for 10 on threes. Parrish stinks. Butler's not playing his normal great defense. And Trammell got burnt by Darius Brown tonight, just too small to compete. And can't really do a whole lot right now away from home.
Yeah. 5 biggest, most important road games of the season. New Mexico, Boise State, Colorado State, Nevada, Utah State. All 5 of those games are over. All 5 of those games are losses. San Diego State did not have a single road win against one of the 5 other tournament potential teams in this conference. Now, they haven't lost at home to anybody. San Diego State still doesn't have a bad loss. All of their losses are quad 1.
Yep, quad 1 road losses, but tournament's not played at home. The tournament's played against quad 1 teams away from home.
Exactly. It's played in neutral sites, and that's my thing about San Diego State. Every time I watch them, I feel like they're just playing the most grotesque basketball possible, but they end up winning the game more often than not. I mean, what are they? Top 3, top 5 in winning percentage over the last 5 years?
Something like that, yep.
Yeah.
They win. Brian Dutcher wins ball games, but man, it looks ugly every time they do it, and I do have serious doubts about this team making a run, even if I think they're the best team in that conference, because I just don't think they have the guard play.
They don't have the guard play, and they don't have the elite rim protector that they had last year in Mensa. Ledee is a very good player, but he's not altering shots at the rim on a consistent basis. He's going to beef up your big guy, but if the guard's attacking the rim, they're going to hit a quick Euro spin, and they're getting by him.
San Diego State is dead last in the Mountain West in 3-point percentage. Nobody's shooting. Like they were not a good 3-point shooting team last year, but they were second in the Mountain West because they hit shots during conference play.
Yep.
They're not hitting shots. They're 250th in the country, 11th in the conference, 55th nationally in offense. And look, I know that's higher than they were last year in offense. But at the end of the day, I think the guards have maybe taken a step back.
They definitely have. Not having Bradley there to take away the number 1 guard, I think, could be doing it. Seeing more attention drawn to Trammell and Butler offensively instead of Bradley having big performances in the beginning of the year and then drawing a lot of defensive attention later in the year.
Yeah, I never really thought Butler was all that great of a scorer. I mean, I always thought of him as a stopper.
He was serviceable, and this year there's a lot of games where he's 0, 1, 2 points. Like tonight, 28 minutes and 0.0 assists. He did not create a single basket for San Diego State tonight as their point guard.
Yeah, I mean, he hit the buzzer beater in the Final Four, and he had 9 points in that game. Like, it's not
he got the Puff Johnson treatment.
The what?
The Puff Johnson treatment.
Look. Lamont Butler did not vomit in the national championship game.
But you remember, Puff Johnson has a good 5-minute stretch in the national championship game, and all of a sudden the next year he's apparently one of the best power forwards in the country.
I don't remember anyone saying he's one of the best.
It's set to replace Brady Manick, man.
No,
I
because they got Pete Nance.
People had those expectations this year too, and now he can't even play at a.
Wasn't Lamont like preseason first team?
Yeah, he was preseason something.
That was bullshit. Like, come on. He's barely preseason first team on his own team.
I would have been okay if like nobody from San Diego State was preseason first team. Like that doesn't mean they're a bad team, but it would have been like it wouldn't have made me think anything less of them if, like you said in the preseason, that they didn't have a first team caliber player.
They obviously do. Jaden Ledee is probably the player of the year in that league. It's probably him or Osibor.
Yeah, I mean Stevens has been good, but
it should be Ledee.
It's Ledee.
Prince,
yeah,
Osibor.
I mean, Osibor does tonight.
I think Boise's going to run the table, and Utah State will find a way to drop one. Boise State's got a real easy schedule.
I mean, Utah State's schedule going forward: Fresno, Air Force, San Jose State, and then home against New Mexico. That's not a tough. That's not tough.
3 losses.
There's only one difficult game left.
This team should, like Utah State, in theory, should win the league, but they also haven't been playing super great lately.
I would be very surprised if Utah State doesn't at least win a share of the league title. Because all they need to do that is win their next 3 games.
I expect them to finish.
And we can barely hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, I think that's better.
Yeah.
I expect Boise to win out, Utah State to finish 3-1, and that'll be the shared conference champions.
Boise still has to play at San Diego State. They still have to play Nevada and New Mexico at home. I don't think they're going to win out. The odds they win all 3 of those games, like, not that high.
Maybe I was looking at their schedule wrong. I thought they had 3. Oh, yeah. Nope, it's going to be Utah State.
Yeah, I look at Utah State's schedule. They're going to end up with a 25-6 or 26-5 regular season record in one of college basketball's toughest conferences. If they win out and then win the Mountain West tournament, they will be 28-5. Right,
dude, they're gonna end up being like a 4 or a 5 seed.
They could finish 29-5. Could that get them a 3 seed?
They don't have the out of conference strength of schedule for that.
Yeah, and their predicatives aren't probably good enough.
If they win out, they could maybe get a 4 seed.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, they have a higher non-conference strength of schedule than a team like Auburn or. I mean.
Oh, Sam, you know what's going to happen? Utah State's going to win out, get a 4 seed, and then their 5 seed's going to be Wisconsin.
Oh, no.
Worst sub-regional ever.
Hey,
get McNeese in there, please.
4-seeded Utah State loses to 13th-seeded Colgate. Is this finally the year? And look, I don't want to take this any wrong way. I have been on Utah State since July. I will be cheering for them in the Mountain West tournament and in the NCAA tournament because I want to be right and I enjoy being right. I think I'm already right though.
I'm a little concerned. Well, yeah, I mean you're definitely right, but like my concern with them in the tournament is like Utah State's thing is that like they're really good at finishing at the rim, and they're probably going to be less athletic than the first good team they see in the tournament.
Yeah, I mean they've played against some strong rim protecting teams around the country, and look, I think they have the ability. They are super physically strong, like just 1 through 5. Same way Montana State was. It's the same identity. Just they're super physical. They're super strong. And I think they're pretty athletic too, honestly. I mean, Osibor does a lot of things. I think Falslev is a good athlete. Darius Brown's an excellent athlete. But my issue with them is I don't know what their depth looks like.
They played 7 players tonight. That's generally about all they play. It's going to be tough for them to win consecutive games in the tournament.
Yeah, and I don't really think Sacco brings all that much, and Iduje is fine. And I'm not the biggest Isaac Johnson fan. I really like their top four. I like their top four, but outside of that, right now, this like coming into the season, I thought Javon Jackson would have a much bigger impact, and I thought Nigel Burris would have a much bigger impact. Neither of those guys have done anything this year.
Nope. Been a lot of Osborne, and then lately Darius Brown stepped up. He said a ton of big games.
Darius Brown's been there. He's been that good all year.
Yeah.
Darius Brown might be the most underrated point guard in the country.
He's a very good basketball player. I can see his effect. He had a bad game against Colorado State, and they get
By the way,
whooped.
Darius Brown, 4 years at Cal State and Northridge.
29 assist rate, 15 turnover rate.
36% three-point shooter.
Yeah. Good, really good player.
He's a stud.
Fast.
I mean, I don't know if he's the second best point guard in the conference because you've got Donovan Dent in the conference.
I think he's more well-rounded than Dent.
I think I would agree. I think he's better, much better defensively than Dent. But Dent's just a freak of an offensive player. And you've also got, Keenan Blackshear in the conference, who's a superstar.
Yeah.
And by the way, he
a lot
started
of
his
good point guards in this
career
league.
at FAU. Imagine if FAU had him. Imagine if this.
I
FAU
forgot he was at FAU, man. I forgot about that.
You probably didn't watch a single game of FAU when he was there.
No, but like I remember him transferring.
I guess. Anyway, Austin, thanks so much for joining us to talk about this game tonight, and we'll definitely have you back on at some point soon, maybe during the Mountain West tournament.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me. Have a good night, fellas.
So, Jonathan.
Yeah.
BYU over Baylor. Ali Khalifa was a stud tonight. 14-7 and 7, no turnovers. Brings his assist to turnover ratio on the season to still really good, but not as good in Big 12 play. I still don't think Baylor's all that good.
Baylor doesn't guard. They gave up 1.26 points per possession tonight. They don't guard anybody.
Like I haven't been given a ton of reason to think that they're much better than they were when the season started. Like,
which, you know what? It's kind of weird because it's kind of weird. Like, because they have some good individual defenders.
The freshmen both hit, but
Yeah.
I still don't think they're any good. Like, I would be surprised to see this team in the second weekend.
None guards, Missy guards. At least he's like athletically good enough to guard.
He guards when he has to.
But like the no middle only works is when you force turnovers, and they don't force turnovers.
Yeah, they're just not as athletic as they were a few years ago, and they had that truly elite defense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, their guys just aren't as fast. It's not. Like,
Even in 2022, they had a pretty good defense.
Yeah, I mean, I thought their guys were. They also had 2 6'8" wings who defended like hell. They were both like one and dones.
Yes.
So, I mean, but even then, I kind of thought they were soft on the interior that year because Flo Thamba. I was never a big fan of Flo Thamba.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah.
One of the early Marathon to March bits was it's never the Flo Thamba game.
No, that was a Brackets, Bubbles, and Bit Stealers bit.
You sure?
We had a Flo Thamba bit.
So did Marathon. That was like one of the early Marathon bits.
At least like I remember tweeting about the Flo Thamba game.
The early Marathon to March bits were never the Flo Thamba game. Houston sucks.
We had a Flo Thamba bit.
Which Houston did not suck, as it turns out. And don't pick Georgetown. Those were like the 3 early Marathon to March bits. Oh, and Kirkweth. We talked about Kirkweth in unnecessary amounts.
I still don't know why you just texted me about Kirkweth randomly.
I was thinking about Kirkweth, man. Also, I will say that like Baylor is gonna lose Walter and Misi.
Dude, I don't want to talk about the transfer portal right now.
They're gonna lose Walter, Misi, Bridges, and Dennis, and I will still probably rank them in the top, like borderline top 10 next year, because their recruiting class is that good.
Who else is it besides VJ?
Rob Wright, the point guard for Harvard, and then Asamoah, who's like, no, I haven't watched him, but he projects as like a long wing, which like
I haven't really even watched Rob Wright. I've watched a little bit of VJ too.
VJ is a dog, man.
He's a freak. Maybe one of the best athletes in high school.
Yeah.
Well, not maybe. He is one of the best athletes.
Oh, those off-season shows where we get to talk about the incoming freshmen are going to be fun. This class is good.
I'm excited for the portal shows, honestly.
You know what I've been thinking about? I'm really excited for when Curry comes on. Have we announced that yet?
I think we have. Curry Hicks Sage is coming.
I may have just spoiled that, but like
you acknowledge him as Sage.
Okay, I didn't know that.
What?
I didn't know that.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've been following this stuff a lot longer than you have. So.
Well, yeah, I've only been following him for about a year, probably.
I mean, I mean, like UMass Twitter is like kind of my Roman Empire.
Yeah, I mean, you're freaking from that area. Of course it is.
I mean, close enough.
Speaking of UMass, big win tonight.
Yeah, UMass is the team I can't quit.
Yeah, I mean, I keep seeing Sweeney keeps talking about them. It like makes me wonder. Like they have some really good players.
They're going to be really good next year.
Huh?
I think they're going to be really good next year because I think this year is proof of concept.
Okay.
Like I know Cohen and Cross are gone, but like they're going to find more guys.
Yeah, I mean,
they have a sick freshman class too this year. Jalen Curry, Jaden and DJ, Rob Davis, Marquis Worthy. Like I know Marquis Worthy hasn't played a ton recently, and Robert Davis like is in and out of the lineup. But like those Worthy was really good early in the season. And they still have the 7-3 kid who is basically redshirting.
They also have the number 1 class in the A10 coming in next year.
Yeah. They have a great... Well, no, Loyola has a better class, right?
Sorry, yeah. Loyola just jumped them.
Yeah, and look...
They have one of the top classes in the A10.
Keon Thompson is back. Like, the only 2 guys they lose are Cohen and Cross. And they can find guys that can replace them. Jalen Curry's going to be a stud next year. I think Diggins might be my player of the year in that league next year. Okay, probably not. But Diggins is really good. Actually, who's going to be my player of the year in that league next year?
Is Holmes done?
He's got to be.
Like it'll be
Keyshawn Hall. Keyshawn Hall. It'll be Keyshawn Hall. But Diggins is really good. Curry, those guys will both be on my preseason all-league teams over there. Mm-hmm. Oh, no. Xavier Brown's going to be my player of the year in that league. Like, what am I thinking?
Yeah.
I've been saying that for, like, weeks.
With head coach Matt Langle.
With head coach Stan Sugarman.
Where did that come from?
You've watched Hustle, right?
Yeah, of course. It's a good movie.
He's a Philly guy. Didn't he go to St. Joe's?
Yeah.
In the movie, the scout.
Yeah. You're right. He did.
I think we have to start this narrative. St. Joe's head coach Stanley Sugarman.
We're just gonna come up with a random. By the way, I saw the Northern Colorado coach tonight in person.
Yeah, no, I was just about to
Played
say
well.
you could sit at the NABC convention with Northern Colorado head coach Dalton Connect.
Rhode Island has a freshman coming in that I really like too.
Who?
Ben Hammond.
I was about to say, like, have you watched the Rhode Island freshman?
No, dude, he plays for like Oak Hill or like Paul the Sixth, one of those schools in Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah, he's on Paul the Sixth. And so I went to watch Darren Harris, and he stood out to me. I'm keeping a running list of like mid-major incoming freshmen next year that I like.
Yeah, that's really good because because obviously
I texted you about a guy that you have seen in person and you didn't respond.
Who?
William Sidnor. He plays for the.
Oh yeah, no, I liked him.
Yeah, he's good.
But there was one other guy in that game I liked more. Who was like
who did they play when you saw them?
Oh, they played Hudson Catholic.
Oh, that's Pettiford, right?
Yeah. No one on Pettiford's team did anything.
Yeah, dude, he's the only one on that team that shoots.
Not because nobody else is good. They have a pen commit on that team that is really good at getting to the basket.
Dude, watching Hudson Catholic games is like watching. It's like watching Pettiford work out, but with like people guarding him.
Here, where is it?
You watched any of Mr. OG lately?
No, I caught him at the county center. He's really good. Like, there's not much more to it.
This class is fun. I watched Ace again last night.
No, this class rules. Just after last year's class, which it was just a drag to find dudes that I liked.
Yeah.
This year, I feel like I'm liking everyone.
It's last year, like the guys
the top 10 in this class, like would all be like top 3 last year.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like I think the top 15 right now that I have are like really
Taj
good.
Bryant, he was a point guard.
Yeah. He's good.
He played like he kind of played. Were you like watching Jaden Glover or something?
Well, I was trying to. He didn't freaking do anything in the game that I watched.
Yeah, he's kind of just a spot up shooter.
Like Bryant and Sidnor are like the two guys on that team that like actually.
And Brandon Lee is interesting. They have this 7-3 guy who I think stinks.
Yeah, he's not good. Like
no,
he did not do anything.
By the way, did you see my reply to you?
I watched them play OSL.
Did you see my reply to you today?
On
your Borma Jock tweet.
That we need a one shining moment before Majak.
Yes,
dude, I actually could probably find someone that would do that.
You should make it,
dude. I wouldn't be that good.
Will you not be able to find like 11 Borma Jock moments?
Well, that's all you want? I thought you wanted like a full video.
I mean, it would have to be a full video.
No, but Mabor is awesome. He's been one of the bright spots.
Just have your roommate do it.
Mabor Majak has been so good this year that he's put Connor Vanover on the bench.
Honestly, that's an accomplishment.
By the way, I walked past Connor Vanover on the way out of the stadium today. You don't realize how tall 7'5" is until you're standing next to 7'5".
Dude, Naheem McLeod went to a bunch of the volleyball games.
Yeah, I know you know that. Like, I just wanted to point that out.
Okay, San Francisco just like threw the ball right to St. Mary's. Is it time for a score check?
Yeah, I'm going to say that St. Mary's made a run not St. Mary's. San Francisco made a run to end the half. I'm going to call it 30. How much time?
18 something.
We didn't do a halftime score check.
1842.
I'm going to call it 31-26 St. Mary's.
30-27.
Oh!
You're really good at this.
Dude, I know my St. Mary's, man.
And Gonzaga.
Not my Mount St. Mary's, though.
Are you trying to segue me into the MAC or something? Because I'm not
talk
talking about the MAC on this show.
No, we don't talk about the MAC on this show.
We got to figure out what we're doing going forward. This show has gone like 30 minutes and we haven't talked about shit.
I mean, we talked about some games.
Good win for Wake Forest tonight. They're still on the bubble, but I think they can take themselves off the bubble if they
Saturday.
Yeah.
They're 21st in Ken Pom now.
Like they're 21st in Ken Pom. They are Virginia Teching the crap out of this.
Nobody Virginia Tech's better than Virginia Tech. Don't forget that.
Honestly, Wake Forest might be doing it.
Okay, here's the thing. Do I think Wake Forest is the 21st best team in the country? I do not. Do I think Wake Forest is good? I do.
I do think Wake Forest is better than like half the teams on the bubble, but like their resume just isn't good enough.
I agree. Like I wouldn't want to be the 6 or 5 seed.
Like, they straight up do not have any good road wins. Do you know who they've beaten on the road? Georgia Tech and BC.
Hey, Duke and UNC couldn't beat Georgia Tech on the road.
You know, they won that game by 30. That's
BC's
what propelled them from 31 to 25.
I feel like BC should be better than they are.
Dude, BC stinks.
I know, but like I feel like they should be better than they are. They have good players.
Them at all this year.
Yeah.
I've watched them like 4 times. Dude, they stink. They don't guard shit.
I mean, that's the problem. But like, I like Post. I like Claudio Harris.
Dude,
Zachary's
Joe
good.
Grant stinks.
Remember when people were hyping him up after the ACC tournament a couple years ago?
Dude, they're 89th in Ken Pom, and it's like their best year in years. Like, and they're not even close to the. They're 6 and 8 in a shitty 6 and 9 in a shitty ACC.
I mean, hey, that's better than like.
Sure, he's better than Jim Christian and Steve Donahue were, but like
that's better than like 5 years ago when like they finished 13th in the league with a lottery NBA player.
I guess
he did go lottery, right? I'm not imagining that.
I have no idea who you're talking about right now.
I'm talking about Kai Bowman. Maybe I'm thinking now. No, not Kai Bowman. Who am I thinking of?
Bowman. I'm pretty sure he was like a 4-year player there.
Huh?
I'm pretty sure he was a 4-year player there.
Who am I thinking of? Hold on.
I want to live for...
Jerome Robinson. That's who I'm thinking of.
Oh my god, I totally forgot that Jarris Hamilton was at BC.
That's what you forgot about BC?
Dude, I forgot everything about BC.
Why are we talking about Boston College?
Because they stink.
They do stink.
And Jeff Goodman told me they were making the NIT.
By the way, how was Syracuse tonight?
Dude, Chris Bell
hit scoring in the second half.
Oh, hold on. I need to show you. I need to put something up.
Did Chris Bell score in the second half?
I don't think so.
He had 26 at halftime. Who's taking over my Twitter? By the way, get text saying I'm out of the tournament, please.
Yeah, give me a second.
They have 5 quad 3 losses.
I need to pull something up.
What? Are you going to show me Chris Bell's 8 made first half threes?
No, I'm going to show you something funnier.
Oh, God.
If this ever loads. Here it is. Can we just hire Draymond? I personally think if I coached college basketball, I'd destroy all these guys. I just watched Chris Bell start 8 for 8 from 3 in the first half and finish 8 for 10. They didn't have him set one back screen, but only sat in the corner. Didn't run a pick and roll with him as the back option and put the defender in a single side tag position. He got one shot in the second half. Watching college basketball baffles me. His coach didn't know how to use him to get other guys shots, let alone get him another shot. I've been saying this all year. Do you understand how validating that feels when Draymond Green says it?
What did I text you of like, Jesus, Bell hasn't scored the second half? Run him a play.
Dude, I've been saying this all year. Draymond Green is one of the 10 smartest NBA players ever, maybe?
Yeah, he is.
I'm just, like, this is the most validating thing that's ever happened to me. Like, it took him one half of watching Syracuse basketball to notice the exact same thing that I noticed.
You know what the most validating thing that's ever happened to me was? Basketball related.
National championship?
No, it was last year when Kentucky lost at home to South Carolina.
Shouts to Devin Downey.
Shouts to Chester, South Carolina. What did we miss tonight?
Villanova beat Butler.
4 out of 5.
Texas Tech got a big-time win at USA.
Yeah, that was important for them because Warren Washington didn't play tonight.
Yeah, I think they're pretty good.
And, like, they have no center depth behind
Got to
him.
witness the Tobe Awaka legacy game in person. That must have been validating.
His breakout game finally came. I mean, like, listen, Jonas has been good enough this year that they haven't really needed Awaka, but this is like, I asked Barnes about this in the press conference. I said, like, was the plan to play Tobe a lot more tonight, or was it kind of just like he was playing well and you rolled with it? And Barnes said, like, I told this was one of the funniest things that I've heard in a press conference. He said in the first half, Tennessee was taking terrible shots and they were missing them. And so he's like, okay, well, if we're going to miss all these shots, we might as well try to get the rebound. And that was their game plan in the second half. So they played Adu and Awaka together, which they haven't done all year. And it worked.
So funny.
It worked. They got like 14 offensive rebounds on the game.
Speaking of BC, they lost to FSU today. Jameer Watkins had 22 and 11. Jameer Watkins should make an all-ACC team.
FSU would still, like, that's a lie. They wouldn't be on the bubble. They also lost to Louisville.
Hey, if FSU didn't lose to Louisville, they would be on the bubble. No, they wouldn't.
They would be on the NIT bubble, maybe.
No, I think they are on the NIT bubble.
They probably are. Syracuse.
The entire ACC tournament is just going to be the biggest NIT bubble implications. I texted you during the SU game that if Syracuse lost, I was going to start a CBI chant on Saturday.
So is there going to be like any mid-majors in the NIT?
I don't think so at this point. It's just
is that starting this year or is it next year?
I think the NIT is just going to be the ACC tournament.
Is that
I mean, they're allowed.
Is that starting this year?
Yes.
Okay. That stinks, man.
Sonny
Texas,
Wilson, the freshman at 18 today in Toledo's win over Akron.
Dude, North Texas UAB last year was lit.
Morehead State woke up last Thursday.
I saw you tweet this.
With a huge lead in the conference. Now they're just a half game up, and they have to go to Western Illinois on Thursday. Now, their next two games after that are SEMO and Lindenwood at home. 96 and 97 percenters.
The auto bid mid-majors are awful.
Oh, my God.
Not that, like, they were going to win a tournament game anyway, but...
Dude, more. Look, it sucks. It sucks that they lost Mark Freeman before the season started.
Mm-hmm.
But this is pathetic. Like, they kind of got handled today by 7-20 Southern Indiana.
Yeah.
I honestly think Little Rock might be the best team in this conference.
I'm not going to make a statement on that just because I don't watch enough OVC
basketball.
Oh,
no, I don't either. But, like, I liked Little Rock a lot before the season. And I think they're playing really well. They've won 5 in a row and 8 of 9. The only loss was a 2-point loss at SIUE, who is pretty talented and a good team.
The league saw better days.
What?
The league saw better days.
Yeah, the winner of this league is unless it's Morehead State, who could get a 15, it's a 16. But you know who Little Rock has on the roster?
Who?
Mikal Mitchell.
That's right. That's right. His brother's been playing well.
He has. He really has.
Another double-double tonight. Arkansas's win over A&M.
Can we say it? Like, I think we've said it multiple times in the show, but can we say it again?
What's that?
Fire Travis Ford.
I saw they went down 21-4 to start that game tonight.
Dude, they never led. They were down 23 in the second half. Dude,
Yeah,
like,
it's embarrassing.
Fifth-year junior Gibson Jimerson is shooting 34% from three this year. Like, that should never be
fair. Duquesne, I think we all figured that, like, Duquesne
Bradley
was going to
Ezewiro is like the Sean Duru Gordon of the A10. His numbers aren't quite as good, but like he's a two-time transfer that got cleared mid-season, and he just started putting up the emptiest of empty stats.
Like, this is a pretty embarrassing low for St. Louis.
Like, I get that. I get that they're not what we thought they would be. Like, Meadows isn't there, Dalger isn't there. They're 9-17. They're 2-11 in the conference. They lost to Southern Illinois by 39. They lost by 20 to Wichita State. They lost by 15 to Duquesne. They lost.
Dude, they almost lost to Dartmouth.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Their only two conference wins are a road win at LaSalle, which, if you lose to LaSalle, like, what are you doing?
Dude, LaSalle stinks. LaSalle beat UMass the other day, though.
And then one of the all-time shockers, St. Louis beat St. Joe's.
Dude, we really need Sugarman. There are two coaches in the 8th end that just have absolutely no business. And their names are Travis Ford and Billy Lang.
Do you think when Billy Lang loses his job, he'll say he'll say that St. Joe's didn't give his job away?
I made all the right decisions, just didn't execute.
Yeah.
I don't like. Is Fran gonna get it going at LaSalle? Like, do you think that's gonna work out?
I don't know, dude. Like, aren't they like one of the worst programs in that conference?
I mean, they're not a great program.
Fran's also 75 years old.
I mean, he's 75, but he's like a genius.
How much longer is he gonna coach?
3 more years max.
Like, 75 is really old for a coach.
Like, the guy is one of the great coaches in the history of the sport. Like, maybe the most underrated coach ever. I don't think people understand how good he is outside of Philly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that. Like
he won 80% of his conference games at Penn. He won 63% of his conference games at Temple. He succeeded John Chaney and basically kept the program at that level. The moment that he left, everything went to shit.
Oh, it was a free fall, dude.
Now, you could say that's Aaron McKee's fault, but Adam Fisher doesn't have it going. Now Adam Fisher's in year 1. But, like, regardless of that, I do think
Fisher was where was Fisher before? He was an assistant somewhere, right?
Penn State?
That's what I thought.
Yeah, he was Micah's associate head coach.
Gotcha.
Like, I'm not sure he's going to get it going there. Like, I would say of the big 5 of the coaches in Philly, the only one that I'm like 100% certain is the guy long term is Spiker.
Is who?
Spiker at Drexel. And that's nothing on Donahue.
Of just the Philly schools?
Yeah. And that's nothing against Donahue. It's just that, like, he's kind of old. Donahue's 61. This is his third head coaching job. He's been there almost a decade.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's been there almost a decade, and he's made one tournament. And that's a really, really good job. Like, he's good. He's a great coach. But, like, I'm not, like, fully confident in however many more years that he has. Because, like, he could wake up 2 years from now and say, I don't need to do this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just, like, if you've ever heard him speak, his voice, it seems like he lost his voice at BC. And he was an excellent coach at Cornell. His first year they went 7-20. His last year they made the Sweet 16. And
he was there for that team?
Yeah, he was the Sweet 16 coach.
Okay.
Donahue is an excellent coach, but, like, I don't know how much longer he's got. Spiker, on the other hand, I'm pretty sure he's 14 years younger than Donahue. Spiker also was a Donahue assistant at Cornell.
Also, like, there are other really great coaches in that league too.
Yeah, like I just think that, like, I don't think Donahue's gonna get fired. I don't think that's possible.
When there's one truly elite coach in a league, you get what's happening at Colgate, what's happening at Vermont, and what Will Wade's doing right now.
Yeah, and like Mitch, James Jones, Brian Earl, like those are all better coaches than Donahue. And Donahue's a great coach, as I said. I like what he does a lot. I just think that at some point in the near future, there's a chance that, like, it's best for both sides to just try and get like Donahue could get another job in a minute in the Northeast. Yeah. And Penn can get Penn's an awesome job. It's the goddamn Palestra. Like, who doesn't want to coach there?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Donahue could coach 10 more years there. I don't know what's gonna happen. But my point with Donahue is just that, like, I don't really. I kind of saw some rumors hinting at some stuff there from some of the Twitter accounts that, like, again, I think Spiker has Drexel on a clear positive trajectory. They're going to finish in the top 5 of that league for the 3rd straight year, and that's not a traditionally good program.
I mean, they made the tournament a couple years ago, didn't they?
Yeah, they made a tournament in 21, but that was right. A COVID year. It doesn't really count.
Yeah.
They
also finished 4-5 in the league that year.
Yeah. Wisconsin avoided another catastrophic loss tonight.
They're completely limping to the finish line, man.
They are terrible. They are terrible.
Think some coaches could be thanking the committee when they draw them.
Dude, Wisconsin. Whichever mid-major coach draws Wisconsin is like a lock to move up to the high major level.
Dude, McNeese needs to get
it's a free Sweet 16.
I've, like, sold myself that, like, McNeese needs to get Wisconsin or Clemson.
Oh, I would pick McNeese with, like, no second thought in that game.
Dude, how many positions of the 5 would McNeese be more athletic than Clemson at? Every single one. Every single one. Every single one.
I truly think McNeese is one of the best teams in the country defensively. But, like, the numbers don't show it because, like,
their league is awful.
What?
Their league is awful.
They are number 1 in the country in points per possession on ball screen defense.
Would you go as far to say that, like, McNeese should be favored in a game against Clemson?
I mean, I would pick them without a second thought. So, yeah, I guess.
It's just,
I mean, they would be like a 5-point dog, though. So, like,
yeah.
that's the thing you got to remember. Like, I feel like that a Grand Canyon would be a 4-point dog against Clemson, and like, I just straight up think Grand Canyon has better players than Clemson.
I gotta watch Grand Canyon more.
Like,
I know they're good.
Aside from PJ Hall, I just think Grand Canyon has straight up better players.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. Like, they certainly have way better guards.
Like, Ty and Grant Foster is probably like there's like a 70% chance Ty and Grant Foster is the best player on the floor in a tournament game. Ray Harrison was like a preseason player of the year candidate. Gabe McLaughlин's a stud. Like, they don't really have a bench. Grand Canyon?
No, but like, you don't need to have a bench to win one tournament game.
Yeah.
Murray State didn't have a bench. They beat a 5 seed by 20.
Well, they had the number 2 pick in the draft.
That was also the most Mickey Mouse 5 seed I've ever seen. Nope, that's a lie. Minnesota in 2017.
Wisconsin was a 3 seed 2 years ago.
Do you remember what I sent you a couple days ago?
What?
Dude, Minnesota was a 5 seed in the NCAA tournament. The 12 seed they lost to, finished 6 spots below them in Gen Pom.
Who did they lose to?
Middle Tennessee.
Right.
That was the next year when Middle Tennessee was like actually good.
Yeah. Dude,
Middle Tennessee was straight up favored in that game.
That Minnesota team, by the way, finished the same exact KenPom rank as the Wisconsin team that got a 3 seed 2 years ago.
No, Wisconsin wasn't that low.
Dude, they were 37.
Minnesota was like 47, weren't they?
No, they were 37.
No way. Oh, did I just see this? Oh, yeah. Holy cow, you're right. What a coincidence that was.
Richard Pitino's highest KenPom season at Minnesota. They went 15-16.
What were they in 2019?
46.
I actually thought that team was good.
No, I did too.
I don't know why their metrics were so low, but actually, like,
they had Daniel Oturu, who was one of my favorite players that year.
They also had Amir Coffey.
Yeah, Amir Coffey was a stud.
And Dupree McBrayer.
Yeah. Jordan Murphy.
Kalsher was a freshman.
Totally forgot Gabe Kalsher was there, honestly.
He was good.
By the way, guess the score. 948.
49-44 St. Mary's.
48-46.
Oh my god, man. I'm so good at this.
I don't think that's quite as close.
What'd you say, 49? What'd you say it was?
You said a 5-point game. I said it's a 2-point game.
You said 48-46.
Yes.
Dude, I was off by a total of 3 points.
50-49.
Huh?
50-49.
Just get out of here with a win, St. Mary's.
Dude, this is a tough team.
I know.
If St. Mary's wins out, what seed are they?
6?
Are they going to fuck around and get a 5 seed again?
I mean, that would mean they beat Gonzaga 2 more times.
They would be 26-7 and on an 18-game winning streak.
Those early season losses are going to be awful, though.
I don't think they're
they
like
lost to
the Missouri State.
man.
The Missouri State loss is bad. The Weber State loss is bad. But the losses aside from that are all fine.
They lost to San Diego State, right?
Utah sucks.
We say this every show.
Dude, Utah stinks. We got to get Andrew, whatever his name. Andrew,
Crowley, yeah.
Yeah, we got to get him back on the show to defend his
daily
team's
check of what Utah is over the last month in Torvik.
Dude, they stink.
Hold on, we're checking right now.
I'm proud of them though.
Wake Forest is in the top 10, by the way.
Of course they are.
Oh my God! Since January 20th, they're 126th. They're lower than Utah Valley.
Oh my God! Is Utah a blue blood program that's not the best team in their own state?
Dude, do Auburn fans think they're a blue blood? Is that like a real thing, or do they do it for me?
It's a CBK report bit.
Huh?
It's a CBK report bit.
Yeah, but like I think an Auburn fan like actually like thought it was real.
Oh, an Auburn fan also thought their head coach was Hugh Freeze.
Auburn player also spelled Auburn Aubrun.
I mean, to be fair, it's Seb Jasper.
He's got to be
Auburn
an Auburn
player also
that's
pulled
why.
up from 35 feet in a tie game with 3 seconds left.
Who? Wendell Green?
Yes, Wendell Green.
I was gonna say Seb Jasper didn't do that. He didn't do
He
anything.
would if he could.
Huh?
He would if he could.
Do you remember where Seb Jasper was before Auburn?
State Penitentiary?
He was at College of Charleston.
I didn't mean that in the way it came out. I'm just saying he played ball. Like, he should have been arrested for how bad he was at basketball.
God. We miss anything else that we wanted to discuss tonight?
Houston's freaky good. Jamal Shedd's one of the best point guards in the country.
Did you see this Rothstein tweet tonight about Michigan State?
Oh, no.
Michigan State could fall to the first four and lose in Dayton, or all the way to the Final Four out of nowhere like it did in 2015.
Out of nowhere.
2015,
They were preseason top 3.
they had Denzel Valentine.
They're
Who's
preseason.
like one of the best players in the country.
They were preseason top 3. Like, what do you mean out of nowhere?
2015 Michigan State finished 15th in KenPom. They started Travis Trice, Bryn Forbes, Denzel Valentine, Brandon Dawson, and Matt Costello.
That's sick.
Yeah, out of nowhere, a team with 2 NBA players went to the Final Four, and like one of the greatest coaches
Plus
of
Travis
this generation.
Trice.
Huh?
Plus Travis Trice.
Right, who was like a very good point guard.
Dude, Travis Trice is one of the best point guards in the country. And that was his senior year, too.
How did that team get a 7 seed?
They lost to Texas Southern. Oh, my God.
Didn't they like smoke Virginia in the second round?
No, they won by 6.
I was so mad. I picked Louisville to win that region.
But, like, that game was that Virginia game. They scored 6 points in the second 10 minutes of this first half.
Virginia did, or Michigan State?
Michigan State did.
Oh. Who'd they beat in the Sweet 16?
I think they
have no
smoked-
recollection of that.
What?
Who'd they beat in the Sweet 16? I have no recollection of that.
2015?
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
Right.
With Junior Buddy Hield and Isaiah Cousins and Spangler. That team was fun.
They were even more fun the next year when they stopped trying in a Final Four game. Buddy had like 37 to beat Oregon in the Elite Eight.
Yeah, they were 29-8. They were real good. And then they lost by 44.
Like, I texted you the other day about them. How seriously are you like taking this Michigan State team?
Oh, super seriously.
Like, I think the fact that like everyone's cooled on them like makes me like them more.
Oh, same. Like, the thing about this Michigan State team is like they're not much worse than I thought they would be preseason.
I actually like kind of agree.
Like
The metrics think they're better.
the metrics think they're a little worse. I had them 12.
I had them like in the 20s, dude.
Dude, like look at this. Since December 16th, they are like top 10 in KenPom.
They did play terrible tonight.
Yeah.
Iowa was like due for one of these stretches though.
Yeah, I was playing well right now. If they beat Illinois on the road on Saturday, we can start talking bubble.
Did Freeman get hurt tonight?
I wasn't watching.
He only played 8 minutes.
Oh no, he had 4 fouls
Against those bigs? I guess like he's probably
I
more
could get those bigs into foul trouble.
like I'm guessing they probably had him guarding Malik Hall instead, because I didn't watch, but like that's just what I'm guessing, because Cricky doesn't guard anybody.
Dude, Ben Cricky guards less than Luka Garza did.
Is Monty Sissoko like Izzo's big version of Foster Lawyer?
Well, gotta give my Sissoko a little bit of credit. He lasted more than 1 year under Izzo.
Dude, he like every time he goes out there, he plays like 5 minutes and is like a -8.
What's the tweet?
Michigan State really went from up like down 3 to up 17, and then Izzo put Foster Lawyer in for 2 minutes and all hell broke loose. It's something like that.
So funny. Fordham sucks.
Fordham.
The Ergo story felt good for about.
That's another team that beat St. Louis.
Fordham's 4-9. They've lost 4 in a row.
Davidson already cashed the over, right?
I believe today got them the over.
Let's go. That's a win. It's a win for your boy.
No,
What?
they need 2 more.
2 more? Dude, they only have like 5 games left, and 3 of them are on the road.
And the home games are against UMass and Loyola.
What was the line?
16.5.
No way it was that high.
That's what it's written on here.
Dude, their schedule down the stretch is impossible. Oh, God, I'm going to kill them for losing at home to frickin' George Mason and to Rhode Island.
Dude, they lost to East Tennessee State.
I know. Who are you going to pick to win the A-10 tournament?
Oh, Dayton?
Like, no questions asked?
No. No
Okay.
questions asked.
I thought
Depends
maybe you were
on-
going to say you. I thought maybe you were going to say
No,
UMass.
I'm not doing it. I'm not picking UMass. I saw.
Who are you going to pick to win the American tournament? Penny's going to win the American tournament, isn't he?
No, I'm taking FAU.
Nah. Give me the boys from Tampa.
I feel like we're overthinking that.
Get South Florida. Dude, what incentive does FAU have to care?
I feel like they could really they could go up a seed line or 2.
I mean, they could like if they're like
A
seriously
loss-
if
A
they're
loss
seriously in
puts them
danger.
down a seed line, while winning it would put them up a seed line. So it's a 2 seed line swing no matter what.
I don't know, man. That's like at most 1 quad 1.
But like teams around them are gonna lose. That's the thing.
That's true. That's true.
So they
But,
could
like,
move above. They could move
Teams
above.
around
Like
them could lose and like also pick up a
they
quad
could
1 in
move
the
above
process.
like a TCU team that loses to Baylor by winning against Memphis and USF. You know.
You also have to remember that like there's an extra round this year in the Big 12 tournament, which means more quad 1s available.
Dude, what if fucking UCF goes on a run and beats like BYU?
Dude, UCF got smoked by West Virginia today.
Dude, what if UCF beats BYU in the Big 12 tournament?
That would be the least surprising thing to happen during Champ Week.
Are you gonna pick it?
I might. Depends how I'm feeling.
All right, let's actually talk about the name of the show: brackets, bubbles, and bid stealers. Let's talk about brackets.
Okay. Are we going to talk about each board individually?
No. We're just gonna go over some conferences right now and say who you think's gonna win the conference tournament.
Okay.
Big
I'm
East.
good with that. What?
Big East.
I'd be a fool to pick against UConn.
DePaul.
Enough. We'll see it
Big
when.
Ten. Big
Huh?
Ten. Big Ten.
Just for fun, I probably won't pick Purdue in this one.
Juwan Howard.
I may take Illinois.
I'm gonna take Purdue. ACC.
Wake Forest.
Duke.
It's certainly not going to be Syracuse.
Will Syracuse make their first ever ACC tournament semifinal?
All I'm going to say is that if Syracuse finds themselves in the 7 or 8 seed and gets to the quarterfinals and plays Duke, I may consider forfeiting that game to get Syracuse to the semifinals.
All right. Anyway,
sometimes things are bigger than basketball.
I don't want that bit to die. I want them to never make the semifinal. Just make the Final Four, but never make the ACC semifinal.
It's just so funny to me that since they've joined the ACC, they've never made the ACC semifinals. Yet they've made a Final Four
and 3 more Sweet 16s.
What was the next one?
Pac-12.
Oh, dude, you know my answer to this.
Bald Caps.
Bald Caps on Selection Sunday. UCLA. Who lost in just the most hilarious way ever on
Dude, that was
Sunday.
so funny. Big 12.
Great play design, by the way.
Craig can coach. Craig Smith can really coach. It's a shame his team stinks.
Kansas doesn't get a favorable draw here no matter who they play just because they're so thin.
I don't
they're
think
going to have to win 3 in a row. I'll go. I'll probably. This would be a wild card. I'll probably go Texas. I might go Texas Tech.
Iowa State. SEC.
I just usually like picking offensive teams in conference tournaments because if you shoot well, you're just going to keep shooting well the next day.
SEC. Bama.
I kind of think Bama. Yeah.
I've done such a 180 on Bama. I love this team.
I just they don't play very much defense.
They of course they don't guard. They're not going to win a championship or anything. But I love watching them. They are so exciting.
They are really fun.
They have scored 100 points.
Dennis,
1, 2,
Dennis
3,
Gates also
4, 5, 6,
gave
7, 8 times. They've scored 100 points in 3 SEC games. Who does that?
Dennis Gates also gave a shout out to Mark Sears tonight during the presser.
Context?
He's talking about how Dalton Connect is the runaway player of the year in the SEC, and he just also said yeah, Bama's got some really good point guard play too.
Didn't even say his name.
Mm-mm.
I love when coaches imply they know the names but they don't say it.
I mean, hypothetically, do they need to know the name?
Yes.
Is Dennis Gates knowing Mark Sears' name affecting his game plan for him?
Probably. A little.
If he knows how good he is, does it really matter?
All right, we got to end the show.
You want me to take us out?
Mountain West.
New Mexico.
I was going to say New Mexico. Take us home.
If you came to hear about Tyler Self, where he's working, his employment, you came to the right place. If you came to hear Mr. Fetterman forget to play our intro music, you came to the right place. Oh,
shut up!
And if you came to hear about Caleb Grill's life and what he's up to, you came to the right place. This is Season 4, Episode 46 of Brackets, Bubbles, and Bid Stealers. We'll see you next time.